guys? We're back here, back in the dumpster. It's been a little bit, but we made our return. We have some special guests with us, 3 guys now. So I think this is probably the most we've had from one company.
For sure.
So yeah, we have our friends from Smucker Laser, and as you can see, they got us a new backdrop here. So it's not the old marker's gone. We got this. They kind of showed off a little bit what they can do. And they also have some little demos up this way. So if you guys could just introduce yourself and kind of let us know what your deal is with Smucker.
Sure, I'm Nevin Musser, Director of Operations, Business Development.
Yes, sir. Sweet.
How long you been at Smuckers?
There you go.
3 years.
The question.
3 years.
Hitting. Darion Mason, shop supervisor. Do some project managing as well. Been there about 10 years now, so it's been a while.
Awesome.
Getting old, you know.
My name's Kameron. I am the fabrication manager. I oversee all secondary operations. I'm also a project manager as well, designing, quoting, estimating. I've been with Smucker about 3.5 years now. So.
All right. And so you guys both said a little over 3 years, and you've been there 10. How long has Smucker been? How long have they been?
So Sam S. Smucker's been around for 60 plus years.
Wow.
Exterior, we have an exterior side building, different decks and windows, doors, siding, just on the exterior part of houses. And then the metal fab has come around, I guess that started in 94, 93, 94.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I know Todd. You were at their facility and did like a
me
little
and Carrie
video.
came over. When was that? Towards the end of last year.
Yeah, last year, maybe October, November last
we
year.
came by and made a video on how you guys, all your different laser cutting
Yeah.
processes and how you guys do things. You guys have a great facility, very clean.
Yeah,
Very clean.
could be cleaner.
I know that's something you did say. You definitely stress about keeping stuff clean. How important is it to keep your production floors clean?
Well, I think it's important just, for the output of our product and just for safety and, guys are working in a clean shop. You guys know what it's like to work in a clean shop. It makes you want to come into work, and you got a lot of things going on here, but when things are cleaned up, it makes it a better feel.
Definitely.
Yeah, I feel like clean is, the cleaner you are and you know where everything's at and things are put away and there's organization, your efficiencies are up. And most companies, you want to be as efficient as you possibly can. So.
Yeah, I definitely would say out of all the companies I've been to, you guys definitely have one of the cleanest floors.
It's good.
Thank you.
Shop.
It's cool to see like the videos. It kind of shows us what our customers. Sometimes when we just see all your bins coming in and stuff, and just see the metal get dumped, like on our end, we kind of like we get caught up in that and don't really think about what you guys do. So it's cool to see that you guys made that with the. I guess you used the laser machine to cut that out.
Yep.
And also these things up. What are these? What is all this stuff up here?
So that is some 16 gauge stainless steel over there in a box, which we cut a pattern into. We also etched our logo and some capabilities on the back, and then we also formed that on our press brake. So that's kind of a tighter piece of part, I guess you could say, forming wise. That's really tight for us, but it came out really well. And then I believe this is some 1 inch or 1.25 inch stainless steel, which also has one piece is just laser cut. The other piece actually has a half 13 tap ran through it. And we're able to do this right off the laser, no drilling needed, which really helps keep costs down for our customer and helps us get a lot more parts through faster instead of setting up a drill operation and having to drill it and then tap it. So.
I see you guys run the Trump. That's how you say it. Trump lasers. How's that going for you guys? I think you said you had 8 of them.
3.
Could be off. Oh, three of them.
Yeah, I wish we had 8.
8 of them. I don't know where I got that number. How long does it take to so for this, for instance, how long did it take you to draw that up and cut it out? Would you say?
I'd probably send you a picture in
A phone call?
20 minutes.
Yeah.
A phone call and 15 minutes, and then it only took about 5 minutes to cut.
Awesome.
Did some cleaning on the back to it, but yeah, something like this it's real simple. Stole your sign from the website and just kind of copied and had to fix that up a little bit. But yeah, a lot of that stuff doesn't typically take too long. Something simple like this. Now, if it has a lot of different designs in it, that can become pretty ugly, or it just takes a little more time. But we really wanted to get this to you guys. I'm glad you like it.
We really appreciate it. It's like
Yeah.
a cherry on top for the dumpster.
I kinda
We're
thought-
missing something. I think that's what we're missing.
Well, I kind of thought you guys might see and just throw it in one of your mountains out there.
Not bad.
Well, we're
You might
keeping
see the
that.
letters come through in one of your mountains.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Cutouts.
look out for those in the S.
It's cool to see kind of the end product of what you guys do, just like even on a small scale like that.
Yeah.
So with like all the new technology coming out, Isaiah, Carrie, and Dan just went to the automation convention in Detroit. With all the
Nice.
technology coming out, does that kind of like scare you guys, or do you guys like not scare you, but like kind of worry you a little bit because times are changing, or do you think it could help you guys a lot?
I definitely think it could help be more consistency. Those jobs are really for like the large like repeat jobs. Automation would be awesome for that.
Putting the same type of same shape out like multiple
Yeah,
times.
same
so.
shape or same material. That would make it a lot easier for certain things. I know there's a couple shops. I don't know if you've seen. Trump has like a what do they call it? They call it Smart Factory, right? And they have forklifts driving around like by themselves, like robots, like picking up. So that part does scare you a little bit.
Everything's autonomous. Yep.
But at the end of the day, you're going to need people, and right now it's hard to keep good people. I'm sure you guys know, and that's kind of where it's heading, and it helps us out for consistency wise. But I think that stuff's more for like the thinner stuff. The thicker stuff, I don't know how well automation would do, but at some point they're going to have it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it's going to help like a bunch of different industries in many ways.
Yeah.
So
why stop
cool.
there? But
Yeah.
they also have 3D printing that they've been coming out with that, we've seen, at least when I was in high school, like the 3D printer they had, it's just plastic one. And that's advanced so far since then. And now they're doing metal, which is just insane.
Yeah.
That's going to affect us here too, because with them using 3D printing for metal now, it doesn't really create like a scrap necessarily. It creates like a dust type of form. So that's something we're going to have to grow and kind of adapt with as well. So.
Trying to watch it. Yeah, what do they do? Houses now or something?
Yeah, they 3D print everything. They're 3D printing steaks out of stem cells from cows at this point. So they're 3D printing houses with concrete. They have an Inconel, which you guys are familiar with, which I believe is a melting point of 5,000 degrees or higher. They're 3D printing that now, which is one of the newer metal 3D printings on the market, which is a game changer. Just the high nickel content inside of Inconel, and a lot of aerospace parts being able to be manufactured, and like you said, you have dust instead of chips. You have a lot that you're not wasting anymore. So,
Which is good for
some
It might
industries,
not be as nice for us.
it will be an industry shift for sure when automation and AI comes full force. And I would say in this, and a lot of people will have to shift their directions, but I don't see it as a bad thing. It's kind of like turret punches were first, and then CO2 lasers, and and now fibers, and now you have, like he said, automated warehouses where everything's automated. So I think it's just a matter of adapting and staying with the times, and as long as you do that, you can remain successful and stay in business for a while. So
And you're going to need the bodies to run the automation. So
Absolutely.
That's say like a lot of people are scared because it could take a lot of jobs, but it could give people a bigger opportunity because like I was talking to a gentleman at the Mid Atlantic Machinery for one of their big events. And I was asking him like if you could go to school right now, what would you go for? And he said to run the I don't even know
Robotics.
The robotics.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
that's going to be like a big career that not too many people are going to have a degree for.
Yep.
So it could cause a lot of good things as well. Kind of just have to be willing to shift with.
a little bit of the unknown, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure.
well, we were looking at your website and stuff this morning, kind of looking at some of your capabilities and like your values and stuff. What do you think is like the main thing you guys specialize in? What jobs are you kind of doing the most of?
Yeah, we're a job shop, and we get ourselves into just about anything, from parts for an Amish company to aerospace to do some work for a railroad company up in New York. I mean, who else? You guys see a lot of these things that are coming in through, your customers, but
Yeah,
I mean, we have
we're
a
such
large customer base,
Yeah.
extremely large.
and it's very diverse, very diverse.
Yeah.
From $100,000-$200,000 jobs to the $75 job and everywhere in between. It's just we don't really turn much business away. We try to be there for everybody. Even the little guys need help. And we're not necessarily a big guy in the fabrication world. We're not a super small guy either.
Yeah.
People have helped us, and we've helped people. So it's kind of, I would say I like what we do. I like that it's not the same thing every day, and it's a mix and it's diverse. So
Kind of makes you like kind of get in the same routine of doing the same thing every day. It might get a little boring or something, but when you have different type of jobs all the time and stuff, it's cool.
yeah.
We have the same type of deal here. It's never the same thing every day,
No.
which I think
It's like
helps.
never the same.
So I drive most of the time, and so I've been down. I've gotten your thin plate and your thick plate. And when we were looking this morning, I see that you have at least 4 different types of lasers or cutters, or so like. I saw you have I have it pulled up because I was like, I'm definitely not gonna forget this. So I know you have the 4,000, the 5,000 watt, the 10,000 watt, and then the bandsaw. So what all goes like higher the watt, the plate it can cut, like so that'll go in thick plate, or what all?
Typically, a lot of it's based off speed. So like that 10K we have just zips through. Like if I would have cut this, I didn't cut this on the 10K. I probably should have, but it was pretty packed at that time, and I cut this on a 4K.
Okay.
But what took 5 minutes on a 4K probably would have taken like 2 minutes on the 10K. I mean, 2 minutes at the most. I mean, just how it flies. I mean, where they're getting at with thickness, some of that is true. The higher the wattage, the thicker you can cut. But it's slower margins. Like, what last year's model can cut, it's not going to cut much thicker than that.
Oh, okay.
But they have Trump has a
25.
5K now,
something like
24K.
Oh, wow.
So they just keep advancing it, but a lot of it's just for like the speed. People want everything done yesterday. So I would say, me personally, the CO2 machines had a better cut quality, looked a lot nicer. Not that the fibers are bad, but it's just speed, and you're trying to compete in this industry, and that's just kind of where it's getting at with the machines.
Yeah. That's what I seen on your website was like laser cutting like in a timely manner.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I guess that's a big thing for your guys' customers.
Oh yeah, and lead times are everything. I mean, we're at a week at one point, but everything going on with the metal, kind of bumped it to 2 weeks. But that's still really good for this area. I think a lot of people get 5 or 6 weeks just for cutting. So yeah, that definitely helps out a lot. You have,
sure.
and if our 10K has automation capabilities. There's just certain jobs that we try and gear towards that. So that's kind of, we're trying to fit the puzzle together, where to cut things. That's the biggest struggle, is trying to figure out where. But if you had automation, you had a job that's like 100 hours, you could just set it up all night and just let it keep running, and it just stacks it to the side, which is like, from when I started to see the machines now, like that's technology is just advancing such a fast movement. I mean, that's everywhere, but.
Yeah. I mean, when I came into your guys' business, I would think like a lot more people were working, because like how much you guys produce. But like just seeing I guess keeping it clean helps a lot. But like when we walked in, you had, I don't even know what to call them, so this is gonna be pretty dumbed down. But just pretty much a bunch of flat steel plates that aren't cut yet, and there's like some lift that just moves it right into the machine. And how many plates would you guys say you cut a day? Or is there like a average? Because it seemed like you guys were getting them in there.
It's going to depend.
Depend on the
Every
job,
day is
I
going
guess.
to every day is going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Depends on the thickness. I mean, the thicker it is, the longer it takes to cut.
What's the biggest you guys? I think it said an inch on your guys' website you can go up to.
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
so do
go,
it.
we can go a little thicker. I would say we would advertise 1 inch, but
1
if
inch.
someone came in and they needed something cut thicker, we could possibly we can make it happen for them. So inch and a quarter.
That's huge too, because not a lot of companies, like you said, like how you guys work with big customers, but also the small guys. Not too many customers would want to, or not too many companies would want to work with the customers much, because sometimes they just don't have to.
Yeah.
How's that set you guys apart, or how important is that to kind of like serve your customers? Because we can tell you guys definitely take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah, I would say customer relations is one of my biggest things that I try to focus on, even though I'm in the shop a lot. I'm a welder, I'm out there machining in the machine shop and helping the guys out. I'm also taking care of customers, getting material pricing, sending quotes out, answering phone calls. And I would say recently I've become a lot closer with some of my larger customers personally. Like, we all kind of have our own customer base. Darion has his customers he deals with, and I have mine. And I've recently become a lot closer, and just getting out there face to face, putting a name to a face. I've been working with you guys for 3.5 years, and I've been to one of the picnics and only got to really meet a couple of you guys and put the name to the face. And I think that's a huge, very important thing in any business, no matter what you're doing, is having that good, solid, trusting, high integrity relationship with your customer, because as soon as that integrity is lost between that relationship, I think that's when they say it goes south, and you never know what could come of that. So let's say that's a big part.
So kind of to piggyback off of that, you said you started out welding and now you're doing like customer relations, kind of like the selling side as well.
Yeah, I've been in the business for 11.5 years. I started as a parts grinder. It would take me to a person like Darion and say, here's a part, or here's a table with 5,000 parts to make sure they're all done by the end of the shift. I did that for 2.5 years of my career. Until a laser position opened, I became a laser operator for 4.5, 5 years. Laser programmer after that. Got involved with press brakes and some CNC machines, some lathes. And then I got my start in welding, and just really, really fell in love with it. It's more of a passion than a job for me. So if I had to pick one thing I love the most, it'd be TIG welding. So I have a passion for that. That's my strong suit. It kind of worked my way up from the bottom.
How important was it for you to kind of take that opportunity? It's kind of like how Dan is here with us, and Michael, he gives us a lot of opportunities. Like, I started torching, and now I'm on the selling side, so like I'm trying to learn how to like balance that, like emails and torching at the same time don't always go hand in hand. So was it hard for you to kind of get that like balance, and like was it hard for you to kind of take that opportunity, whether you knew like what would come of it or not?
I would say you never find that balance.
Yeah.
3.5 years, I'm still
finding
doing exactly what you said. I'm out there under my hood throwing sparks, and then I have my cell phone ringing with a customer who sent me an email 7 minutes ago and needs a response.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy, but I would say it's kind of there's a certain personality of a person that can handle that really well. It's not for everybody, I would say. So if you know you're a person who can handle it, just kind of embrace it and just know it's always going to be that crazy. But if that's not your thing, I would say try to find out which one you like more, which one has more benefits, which one's going to benefit you longer in the long run, come, family, wife, kids, whatever the situation might be. So
Definitely got to be able to multitask.
got to be able to multitask, especially
Definitely.
Every day.
For everyone.
Every day.
Yep.
For sure. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
no
just
problem.
take it a day at a time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't let things start piling up throughout the week. I just start fresh each day, and
Yep.
just focus on that. But
Yeah, and both of these guys project manage, and they have a shop that reports to them. So they got multiple hats that they're pulling together, and guys that they're dealing with every day, customers that they're dealing with every day. We're getting out on the road to meet customers a little bit more than we have, which is good. I think getting these guys in front and all our project managers in front of our customers has been a nice thing to do. They're putting names to faces, and so.
What's like for, I guess it's kind of, you could go down the line kind of like what's, for in your role, you each have different roles in the company and stuff. What's kind of a day-to-day look like for you? And kind of, you kind of told us how long you've been doing it, but what's like a day-to-day, every day look like?
Day to day, start the shift at 6 a.m. And we're all going to be a little bit different, I think. So my shift, I start at 6 a.m. All my guys are there at 6 a.m. We clock in. I normally, they go out. I have a shop lead who I put in charge of all the projects that I kind of dish the projects to and tell him which one's more important, what needs to be done. And he kind of does a pretty good job at delegating on who's going to do what. So we kind of get together every morning for the most part, just talk about who's doing what for the day to at least get started. That gives me time to go in, check my emails, get back to any customers I wasn't able to the day before. Maybe I have a large quote I need to put together. Gives me a couple hours to kind of get their stuff together through the day. I'm normally 3 days ahead anyway, so they have a stack of papers, and then lunchtime, and then clock out at could be 4 o'clock. Sometimes I'm there till 5:30. It all depends.
I don't ever see him there at 5:30.
It's because he's not there long enough to see me there till 5:30.
I'm out. Getting home.
Yeah.
Honestly, our schedule's kind of the same. Start at 6. Same thing. Get the guys together. Talk about who's running each machine. Now we try and typically keep the same guy on the machine for the week or two, and then we'll do like a rotation. And then throughout the day, I'm dealing with customers, coming back out in the shop, helping if they need assistance with things. Checking. You guys know John, right?
Yeah, I know John.
He was the star of the last video. So we check with John, and me and the programmer go over the schedule, just to make sure we're not falling behind. Nevin sends out an email every day just to keep us on track and see where things are at, where everyone can communicate. So it's just taking it each day, and then like Nevin likes to say all the time, like putting together a puzzle. Because when we're cutting metal, it might be easier just to cut, like we don't cut like per job per day, if that makes, like we like to combine it. So if we're cutting 1/4 inch and there's a customer due next week or close enough, we like to combine it. It helps with like the yield and stuff. So we're not like pulling it, but that takes some time to figure out, all right, can we put this job on here, or no, this is going to make us late for another job. So a lot of that goes on, but it seems like a lot after a while, and it gets just like your guys' daily duties, I'm sure. What exactly did you say? You said you're using the torch and then running
torching
around
and emailing, phone calls. It's a little bit to get you. I mean, I love it. Like how you said, it definitely is for like certain people. It's not for everyone. I love it. I'm just like still young, and I haven't been here too long, so just trying to find ways to manage it, kind of. So, yeah.
And I think in this industry, you learn something every single day. I mean, there's always think I know it, and then you don't. So I mean, that's exciting too.
Yeah.
It's not getting boring.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my days, I'm getting in the morning and going through reports and sending out a few updates from the day before, where we're at, incoming orders, non-conformances if we have any, expedites, just getting that type of information out to all the project managers, our team. Following up with customers, doing a lot of the hiring, which we've done a lot of that recently. So that keeps you busy, just tracking emails, reaching out to people. So that's a day.
There you go.
Well, you guys are all on like leadership lead or leadership roles. How important is it for you guys to like kind of? I mean, you said you have a shop lead that you have to trust to kind of do his job.
Yep.
So you like it doesn't reflect bad on you. How important is like the trust and the communication for you guys?
Communication is very good, and I think that's something we put a lot of focus on. At least I felt like it when I first started, and it's at a spot now where the focus is still there, but it doesn't need to be as much because everyone's on board and communicating. People are picking up the phones, they're responding to emails. As far as trust goes, one of our core values is integrity, and that's the one I stress the most. And I would say sometimes I take it too to heart, and I feel like sometimes I'm too honest, if there is a such thing as that. But at the end of the day, I have a great relationship with my lead. He's very trustworthy, and he reports any issues or problems he might have to me right away. Same with Darion and myself. We talk every day. Probably spend a total of 30 minutes a day sometimes between however many phone calls, just talking and making sure things are right and everyone's on the same page. So yeah, I'd say that's a huge part of it.
And no, I agree that, and just consistency. Like you said, with the routine, you don't really have to go over it with the guys now, but getting them in just a routine of things. I like to keep it open. You know, people have suggestions. You know, a lot of times, like, no one has suggestions for a while, but you know, I felt, you know, as we're, you know, working each day, making a routine, you know, we did stupid things like got a chart for who takes out the trash, because before nobody wanted to take out the trash. You would ask, nobody had time, and now we have a list. Everyone's assigned each day and never had an issue. So that's something I really learned with management. You got to keep things consistent, same thing in ways every day, and that seems to work out the best. You can't have it all over the place.
Figure out what works and kind of just stick with it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you don't want to be micromanaging every day either. You know, as leaders, that's a, you know, it just makes your day
Just long.
Yeah, just long, and just it's just not a fulfilling day if you have to micromanage everything.
That's where the trust comes in.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
I like how you guys brought up integrity. That's one of our core values as well. I mean, we have 22 acres here with 16 employees, 6 of us being young guys, under 21. He's a little older. It's easy for us to kind of, when we're on the slower side of things, to kind of sit down, like take a little break, but we kind of have to do what's right even when like our bosses aren't looking, and do what's best for like us and the business. Which me personally, I had to get better at that, but now, like, with the opportunities that they give us, it kind of makes us feel like a purpose now. So I think that's, I mean, you guys, I can tell you guys have purpose there, which is important, and not a lot of companies do that. I think it's changing now a good bit to like even retain workers. You kind of have to grow a little bit.
You got to keep everybody engaged. Just if you can get on that personal level with them, which I feel like we strive to do. We're not perfect, but we strive to get on that personal level with everybody on our team, and making sure that hey, we know what's going on at home, or you know what they did over the weekend, or you know, if you can just take that few minutes to just relate with the guys out there on the floor, and
Just care.
everybody, these guys, whatever, you know, I think that's an important part of it.
Definitely.
What do you guys want to go like over kind of how you got to start working with Smucker, or how what you were doing before that, kind of, or how things came to be?
Yeah, so I had, out of high school, I worked in a manufacturing facility up in Lebanon County. Worked there for, I don't know, 15 years. So did a little bit of everything there: shearing, assembly, spot welding, all kinds of different things. Then moved I was in the auto industry for a little while, food manufacturing, now back to metal manufacturing.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a nice full circle, and yeah, really like it. Like the team that we have here at Smucker Laser, working with the guys, and you know, I think we have some fun, but you know, we're going to get things done too, and I think we do a good job at doing that too, just like you guys do.
Sure. When you were kind of growing up as a kid, what did you want to? Does this kind of line up with anything you wanted to do, or just kind of just?
I don't know if I still know what I want to do. You know, and I'm old, as you can see. But yeah, what?
So how old we talking?
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, what did I want? I don't even remember what I wanted to do back then.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. This started as a summer job for me, and now it's kind of my main thing that I'm doing. So.
I don't think anyone in life kind of knows what they want to.
Right.
I mean, people go to college for 4 years and don't use their degree, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
So I feel like no one really knows exactly what.
I think if you get that well-rounded, you know, experience, I think that's key, especially when you're young. If you can pull a couple different things, whether it's college and, you know, working in a manufacturing field or marketing or whatever, you know, getting that couple of those pieces put together, I think you can figure out what you're.
See which one you kind of.
Get your fit.
Drift more towards.
Yeah, and this industry is not really too glamorized as well, but it's not talked about. I mean, in school I never heard of manufacturing. Like I never really heard about it, and we're in like the biggest area for manufacturing around. So I think it's kind of fun. You can have a great living.
Yeah, and you know, manufacturing's not promoted with all the cool things that we have. I mean, lasers. I mean, we're dealing with lasers every day. Or, you know, brake press, you know, able to form metal. I mean, half the things that you have at your house, it's probably laser cut. Anything in metal, it's probably laser cut formed or, you know, punched or.
No one even really thinks about it.
You don't think about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool technology out there that people don't understand or know about, really.
Yeah, I had no idea what lasers were. In high school, I started working at McDonald's. My buddy Derek told me there was a job opening at Smucker's, and I thought he was talking about the jelly company. So I had no idea what laser machines were. Nothing. I mean, in school I took like tech class, like wood shop, and we had a metal, but honestly, I like the wood shop better. And I was just planning on working at Smucker's while going to school, and just happened to I started loving more what I do and learning more at it. I got good at it, so that kind of helps too. I hate not being good at anything, and that's why people ask me if I golf. I say I try, because I'm not. It's one of those things I keep trying to get better at, but I don't know.
I'm right there with you on that one.
It's something you just stay kind of the same each year. I'm like,
We did it. We all went golfing with my cousin Mike, one of the owners, Mike. We went golfing with him, and he showed us out pretty good.
yeah, he's pretty good, probably.
Yeah, he's good. The really good one here is I don't know if you guys know Eileen. I think you met Eileen. Her husband Ted is like.
Oh, yeah, he's
good.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like Boston, I don't know what it means, but the 60s, I guess that's really good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Tell him we're ready at Smucker for a round whenever he wants to.
Yeah.
No.
Me and you will just ride together.
That works for me. I mean, you're talking about 60s. I'm around 100, so that tells you how much he's going to be.
I mean, this year I can finally hit the ball straight, so I
There
would
you
have
go.
said sideways.
Nope, mine's too. Right up to the right.
Still slicing. Yeah, that's just how it is. It's the most frustrating sport I've ever played.
It's supposed to be calming.
It's supposed to be, right?
No.
It's very humbling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was so after McDonald's? What was the first job you did when you got to Smucker?
I actually just ran a laser machine, so I was working second shift, and we actually only have. So currently, we only have one machine that's still there from when I started.
Right.
We've been advancing and getting. We used to have all CO2 machines, so now we only have one. When I started this one, I think they had just gotten. So that one's going to be on its way out. Hopefully sooner than later. Right.
Upgrading the arsenal.
Yeah, trying to just
Gotta stay with the times.
Yeah, just with how crazy things are getting with technology. I mean, it's just that's one of the machines compared to like our 10K, where we just ran the 10K. Like it cuts us so much faster, and it's like not even for me to be there to see the stages. I'm just like, and now I don't really run the machines anymore, but I'm like, man, this is a lot nicer than before. So.
In 10 years.
And it's just 10 years short, and
Imagine 20 years from now.
who knows? I mean, we might not be here for 20 years from now. They might take over.
It's true. It's true. So how did you get to? What was your road to Smucker?
So my road's a little different. Like I said, I've been doing it for about 11 and a half years. I've worked for many of fabrication companies in that 11 years. I'd say it's a good thing. If you look at the resume, it may not look that great, but it's where I got my worth from, and the reason I know as much as I do. I started as a parts grinder, and started as a laser operator, and then a laser programmer, and through a couple more companies, did a lot of CNC machining and programming, picked up G code, M code, learned how to, teach a lathe and create a part from raw stock using a vertical mill and a lathe. So that's where my vision changed. As a parts grinder and a laser operator, nothing against these guys, they're workhorses. That is extremely labor intensive, and not that I'm a lazy person or that I don't like labor intensive. It just wasn't something that I could see myself sticking with mentally for 30, 40 years retiring from. So I knew there was a lot more to offer in the industry. And a lot of these companies I work for, you're in the laser room and you're like, what are they doing over there? What are those machines? And the there's just so much to wonder and learn, and that's what kind of directed. I would go to the next company and take a entry level position, even though I already had 4 years of experience in laser. I'm taking an entry level in machining because that's what I want to learn now. Do that for a few years, kind of just bounced around, and then like I said, my last job I did a lot of structural stuff. I did I-beam work, bridges, D11, skyscrapers, Falcon Stadium roof. That was a cool project that got to be a part of. Just a lot of stuff like that, and that's where I developed a passion for my work. I didn't have that passion up until that point, and it was just work. And nobody likes to just have to go to work. It's better to love what you do and do what you love. And I knew that welding and fabrication specifically, taking a bunch of laser cut components, machine components, and form components, welding them all together and selling something for 20 grand. It struck an interest, and I've stayed with it. I've excelled my skills in various methods of welding. And yeah, I came back from North Carolina after like 6-7 years down there, and I moved in with my mom for just a little bit until I found where I really wanted to go, and somehow one thing led to another, and from Delaware County to Lancaster County, moved to Lancaster, took the job with Smucker 3.5, almost 4 years ago, and been there ever since. I love it, so and I love what I do. So.
Awesome.
Now, back to the production side of things a little bit. Do you guys get in like a hot roll coil of aluminum, or do you guys get the plate right away?
So we just get the plates.
Just get the plates.
Yeah, we will buy coils though. We won't get them brought in as coils or anything like that. We'll buy the coil from the mill and then get it as we need it, type of thing. So.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I know, like, I worked at Alcoa or Arconic or whatever it is. I worked there right out of high school, and I wasn't sure if you guys did like stuff with them, got just the hot roll aluminum right there, or however you guys got it in. Now, did you guys ever have to deal with any of the supply chain issues right now or beforehand?
Brass is a little tough right now. I would say, and we get some artsy customers who, I'd say the brass that people are ordering from us, it's going on the side of buildings, and it's a aesthetic piece. It's just being seen in an art fashion, and it's kind of hard to find some of that plate right now. And if you do find it, it's astronomically expensive.
I think we have
even
some
during
here for you.
even during COVID, I mean, there was always some supply chain issues. But I don't think we ever really
Say that's
had
where
a
we saw the
huge
most
issue.
when we did.
Maybe lead times were, instead of 1 to 2 days, they were 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Other than that, prices doubled.
Yeah. And pricing.
Yeah, pricing doubled.
No, I just wondering because I know a lot of people we have on here. Sometimes they're still fighting with like supply chain issues and trying to figure everything out. But it seems like you guys got that one.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, like you said, brass and like copper, those type of things.
I think some of our supply chain issues were maintenance on machines, really. Getting a part if a machine goes down and you need a part for it. That was some of the
we deal
supply chain issues. Couldn't get the parts.
Yeah, we deal with some of that with the trucks right now.
And the shear, I know we had to wait like a month for the one shear, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for blades, bristles for the
Bobcat.
just to sweep the roads. We were waiting for those for a couple weeks. Yeah,
On
just kind of different for every.
Right. What? They were like months you had to wait for
Oh yeah,
certain parts.
some parts.
And,
Parts for our machines that you were waiting.
That can
months.
really affect your production if it's like a really important
100%.
machine. Yeah.
Well, we have a pretty good relationship with some of with our manufacturer that they'll pull parts off of machines that they're building and get them to us. So
Well,
that's helpful.
Yeah.
Another good reason to have
Yeah.
good relationships.
It's helpful.
Oh yeah.
So say like I'm like a customer, I don't know the process of this. Say I'm looking to get some metal laser cut. Like how would a customer like approach you guys? Like what's the best way, kind of?
I mean, it kind of starts off of our website. You can go there, reach
Inquire
out on
directly.
inquire through our website. Then that goes to these guys. And,
Walk-ins.
Talk through that.
We always
walk-ins?
entertain walk-ins. We'll never just tell someone no, or we'll always find somebody available to sit down and talk with that person. And
Yeah,
maybe we don't have a lot of time, but if you have a drawing, hey, can I get your info? We'll get right back to you as soon as we can.
A
So,
lot of napkin drawings.
a lot of napkin drawings.
Hey, that's all right. That's good ideas right there.
Yep. Last
Some of the best
I was
ideas.
mad I forgot to bring it. We had customers walk in, and I was on vacation, and I came back, and I'm looking at on my desk, and there's paper, and there's like it looks like ladybugs and a turtle, and I'm like, what is this? Like what? And it actually turned out to be a really cool project. Got together with the guy, and yeah, he basically just wanted like these small turtles and ladybugs, and he cuts this marble out and puts it on top of the cutout, and he dropped a pair off for me, and I was going to bring them today to show, but that's why I like the most of the personal projects. See what the end result is.
And that was aluminum, right? It was cut out
Yeah,
of
we cut
aluminum.
them out of aluminum, and he basically just painted them and put like this marble back on it to look like the shell or like the body
wow.
of the ladybug. Turned out like really neat. So that's and he was just like a walk-in. We've done work with him before, but he just stopped by one time, and
That's what I was going to ask. Like, is your routine customers your favorite, or is it the walk-in random?
well, I can't answer that on here, you know.
We love
No,
them all.
I
We
mean,
love all
yeah.
our customers.
What would be
No,
your
so-
favorite?
Nah,
Would
honestly,
Ladybug be your favorite?
Repeat customers who are going to continue to bring those ideas,
Yeah.
not just bring us that one, and then, you know,
Large quantity customers, you know,
Yeah.
I think those are the ones that we're really focusing on now. I'm pushing for that. That's a you know a big push that we're doing this year, last year into this year, is getting those larger quantity
Yep.
items that we can continue to run on the laser and forming if it or welding, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you know,
well-
where you're just setting up and letting it go.
Slow.
You know, it's efficiencies are a lot better.
I mean, it has to be it's difficult to even find some customers these days, but even to like find ones with like large quantities has to be hard. So, I mean, that other stuff you guys do definitely sets you apart. And
Sometimes you're driving down the road and you see, that's a metal fab.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll reach out to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
Never know.
you kind of just run into things sometimes, and
That's
you never
some
know what
stuff
goes
we
on.
do too. Like I'll be now that I'm going out to businesses. Like after this, I'm gonna go out to a couple businesses, try to get new business for the yard. I find like when I'm driving on the highway, I'll see a dumpster that's not green, side green. I'm like, who are they scrapping with? It's just it's cool. It gives you like a. I never really knew the manufacturing side of businesses around here. I think it's cool. It gives you like an idea of what's around. I think it should be talked about more. Like earlier last week, I was at Peckway Elementary School's career day, and that was just like so eye-opening to me because like the kids, I asked them when they came and then when they were leaving what they wanted to be when they grow up, and they were like baseball players. And like I actually had like at least 10 kids say maybe I want to work with metal one day, which is kind of was cool. Because I never saw like at career day, I never saw a scrapyard at career day.
No.
Or I think that's like important stuff to get to. Do you think that's something you guys would do? Just get out, because I'm sure kids will love laser cutting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think we talked about that. Haven't done that. I mean, we are hooked up with Thaddeus Stevens.
Thaddeus.
Now that's a little different,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it would be good to, you know, whether it's bringing a shop class into our facility and have them see what we can do, or going out and during a career day,
Yeah.
just setting up a table and
I mean,
talking,
it might
talking
not
to the
mean
kids. or
much
whatever.
now because the kids were kindergarten to 6th grade,
Right.
but I mean that's the younger generation.
Sure.
That you don't know who their parents work for.
Right.
Like I had
Yep.
a couple kids try to explain. I guess their parents worked with metal, and they were showing me like what we do. Like we
Yeah.
had two big pictures up, and they were showing us what we do, which was cool.
Yeah.
I just think I think we gotta get out to the kids more.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sure.
I agree. Yeah, it's that age group is what it's going to be in the next 10, 15 years, so 20 years, whatever.
Yep.
So
On finish your question, I mean, for me, like both type of customers bring a different joy to me. I like the consistency from the repeat customers, but I also do enjoy what the customer that's just walking in wants to make and seeing that end product. Just because I used to. Anytime we cut something when I first started, I was always, if we had extra, I was asking if I could take it, and I thought everything was really cool. And not that it's not anymore. I'm just seeing the same thing every day. So that's why those personalized projects, like even like something like this, like had my blood going. It's
Still can't stop looking
I
at
like seeing the
Yeah, that was on the
satisfaction.
fly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so-
and I think we deal with a lot of entrepreneurs too, and I think that's big. You know, seeing somebody, and I think you said it. You know, seeing something, you know, off a napkin drawing that has, you know, maybe down the road will sell 30,000 widgets or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. And I think that's, you can walk beside those individuals, something can come out. Maybe not every single one. Maybe it might only be 1 out of 20, but that one could be a big ticket item for you.
That's awesome.
So, and even, you know, reaching out to customers, and I do a lot of that, and just cold calling, and you may not hit every single one, but it's
That one you hit.
the one
it's
you
gotta be
hit.
big.
Could make a difference.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, we always see your guys. I mean, we torch your metal all the time, and when we torch it to 18 by 24, and it gets shipped over to Anvil or Donsko, and Donsko actually makes Bronco trailer hitches. Is that
No,
right?
the
Trailer
just
hooks?
toe hooks on the front and on the rear.
Really? Like I went to Park City this weekend with my girlfriend, and there was a new Ford Bronco right next to our car. I was like, come to the front quick. I was like, all the metal that we torch, like they make it in there. I think that stuff's pretty.
What does she think of that?
She thinks it's like, sometimes I think she just listens to me, but she actually thinks it's cool. She likes it, because she never worked around this stuff before, so she thinks it's cool.
It's cool to see the end product. Really,
Yeah, it
like you
is.
said.
I mean, we're torching all day in the heat. At least it can be on a nice new Ford Bronco for
And they're
someone.
award winning. It's all over my LinkedIn, all over Facebook. Everybody's ranting and raving about them. So it's like
Yeah, nice vehicles.
you feel something
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Something cool.
That's what I asked 'cause when I'm explaining to my fiance about certain things, that she just like
Yeah.
same thing. I don't know. She's like, listen, she'll say, I don't understand, but just keep talking. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I always keep up on the prices, so it's funny. I'll like question her sometimes. I'm like, "What's the price of copper?" And she hates it so much.
I got asked that on the way here.
Really?
I was 8 cents off.
8 cents. I
Off
think
the
it's
top of my
3
head.
Off copper.
Yeah, I said
It's
360.
368
Yeah, I
right
said
now, right?
360.
He Googled it really.
Nah, they say that because I was in the back seat.
Well, to kind of bring it back, we're all young. Mason's a little older, as always. Make sure to say,
As always.
What's young?
he's 27. I'm 20.
27.
Man, I'm old.
I'll be 21 next month. Should be fun. But what advice would you want someone to give you guys when you were our age? Like, if you could give us any advice, like whether it's personal, work related. I know it's kind of a hard question.
I would say you don't need a lot of money to have a good career. So if you can't afford college, look at technical colleges. They're less than half the price sometimes, and you can still come out of that with a career that you could make you 6 figures or better eventually after 20, 30 years in the game. You know, so yeah. So don't be scared of what you're gonna do in life and how you're gonna support your life just because you may not have a lot of money to start with in life. You don't need a lot of money to have a good career.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot. Just that on top of being, just I would tell you guys or younger people, just be consistent. Consistency is key for everything, for what I do, for I feel like what we do here. Not consistent, your relationship with your employer might not work out, and honestly, I don't think I knew what I wanted to do until I was like 24. I'm 29 now, so it hasn't been that long. You're always social media and everything. You're always seeing new things. Oh, I might want to do that, and like I said, don't get too wrapped up in the money. The money will come. You just gotta be consistent, kind of where you're at, and actually love what you're doing. You don't want to work a job that you hate. Pays well, but if you don't enjoy it, that's not worth it for me.
You can't fake it to make it with your career. I feel like that's one thing you can't really kind of fake. You have to be there 8 hours a day.
When you're working
least.
in all the elements, getting hot, it's kind of hard to contain if you don't actually like it.
Yep. Do what you love and love what you do.
Yep. Like that.
Yeah, I think soak in as much as you can, learn as much as you can, ask a lot of questions when you're young, especially when you're young. Save when you're young. That's a big thing too. If you can save and just build for that future. This everybody wants to get rich quick. Instant gratification. That's what today's society is, and it's not always the way it is or the way it will be. So And I think, yeah, like Kameron said, I mean, you can do well in this business. Manufacturing's here, and it's here to stay. So, pick up as much as you can, learn as much as you can, ask questions, listen, and continue to save and work hard at it. You're going to make it. You'll go places.
I like how you brought up the trade schools. We have Thaddeus right here in Lancaster, and that's what the best trade school on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do really well.
Yeah, I feel like that's not talked about as
Yeah,
well.
right.
Even though it's right here.
We just had a guy start today.
Yeah,
Really?
We have a student who started
Yeah, we work with them very closely and offer them schedules and opportunities that most people in the manufacturing industry don't offer kids of that age and that skill level. And we're willing to give them that chance, and it's worked out. Yeah, it's worked out quite well for us. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I went to Thaddeus from 2021 to 2022. I did a year there, and I stopped. I'm waiting for them to. They're going online for the business side at least. They could do online for that. So once they do that, I'll finish that. But I think Thaddeus is number one. The price is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, compared to other colleges, it's amazing,
beat it,
and it's a great school.
Right.
It's a great
Yep.
school. Good. That was great. You guys, you have anything else you kind of want to
Any
share?
questions for us or any?
Yeah.
anything
no,
you
I
wanna talk
love
about?
what you guys are doing. I prepped myself this weekend. I actually watched a few of your episodes. So
Awesome.
I said this before. I don't know who I was talking to, but first time I found out about it, then started watching it. I was a huge fan. So I think it's great.
thank you.
Keep the foot on the pedal and don't
Thank you,
stop.
man. We appreciate that.
And see them subscribers slowly tick up and
We'll
get to
there.
the bigger thing. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And thank you guys for
Yeah, thanks for taking time.
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
awesome backdrop.
absolutely.
That put the cherry on
Thanks
top
for having
sure.
us.
Yeah, livened
Yeah.
up the dumpster a little bit with the new sign. I like it.
Dress
Polish
it up
it
a
up.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, I was going to ask, is there anything like we could do better that makes your guys' job easier? I know out in the yard, like getting, whether it's cutting things down or
I don't know. I think
probably not mixing metal. That probably
You
makes
guys
your
already
job
make stuff
pretty.
pretty.
Yeah, so they're pretty
easy.
simple.
I mean, when you come to your guys' shop, I mean, I've only been there like 2 or 3 times, and everyone's nice. Like everyone's just so nice and like happy and helpful. I honestly couldn't think of
Good.
anything.
Yeah.
we just
Good
picked
to
up. Well, when you guys were driving by in the yard, we dumped we picked up the 5052 aluminum from you guys, and so I unloaded that truck, and it was all it was like one of the easiest ones I did because you had the 5052, you have another tub for 6061, then you have like the steel slag box, and then there was a piece of 310 stainless. So you guys were pretty much sorting it all for us, for making it a bit easy.
Good.
Yeah,
So we
Some-
appreciate that.
yeah.
Take a truck in there, it's in and out.
Yeah. Did you pick up today?
No, I didn't pick up today.
I had
That's
Sam
all I
pick
got.
up at my building last week. I think he
Oh
came.
yeah,
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
steak body truck.
Yeah, yeah,
Go
Yeah.
Sam.
yeah. Yeah, Sam's a great guy.
He is.
He's always
He's a hard
talking
worker.
about basketball with him.
Oh,
can
yeah.
eat.
It's just-
We
Oh,
always
yeah.
go. It's funny. We have Mikey Smith here who we work with, and we all kind of goes like a team. Not every weekend, like maybe once a month, we'll go out to a buffet, kind of grub, and Sam can eat.
He puts it down.
He can eat.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta just ask him about food next time you see him. You won't hear the end of it.
Manor buffet.
He's a Manor
Yeah.
buffet. That's his
he
spot.
gave me the heads up on the crabs too. I heard he really likes
Yeah.
likes to give him a bushel.
He just likes food.
Shout out Sam.
Yep.
Shout out Sam.
Thank you guys for coming.
You guys have him on here? Sorry. to
No,
cut
we
you off.
actually that's a good idea though. We should have Sam on here. We want to have Sam and Merv. I don't know if you've met Merv yet. He's our OG here, I call him. He's been here
OG.
22 and a half years. He corrects me.
Wow.
But he's our only guy with a key to the gate down there. He's been here forever, so we need to get him on too. But definitely
Yeah.
You
Sam.
could have like a eating contest or something like
Yeah.
that.
We asked him last week if he ever joined the eating contest. He never has, surprisingly. He's he's
That's
pretty
what you
good
need to
friends
do.
with.
You need to set that up right here.
Yes.
Yeah, he grew up with my. It's funny. We grew up in this small town, Columbia. So Sam, he grew up with my pap.
Oh wow.
He was one of my pap's best friends. So it's that's another nice thing. It's like
Yeah.
you know everyone.
I say he
Good
knows
or
my
bad, you know
grandparents. He
everyone.
always asks about my grandparents.
Yeah,
cool.
We have to go
That's
see your
awesome.
grandma too.
We'll get there. I gotta get there.
Yeah, we gotta get there. But thank you guys for coming on. This was
Yeah, thanks
this
for
was
having us.
great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah.